Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Focus on Gaming podcast, episode 117. I'm Martin,
And I'm
and
Duncan.
hello.
Hello. Just two of us this week.
Yeah, just the two of us. No Tom. Wow.
So,
Last time we heard about Tom, he was having some.
child problems.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, children are annoying. So, I mean, sorry, I'm a dad, aren't they? So, children are awesome. Just they can be difficult sometimes. I love kids. Oh God, no, that sounds wrong. My children are great.
You love
there you go.
Yeah.
Yes,
You love your own kids.
Yeah. Oh God, it's just a difficult thing to say nowadays, isn't it?
Careful.
Gaming, anyway, gaming.
Gaming.
Right.
Talk about gaming.
So, you've been playing, not necessarily the newest games, but what have you been playing on?
I did this the last time I was on. I got the Lenovo Legion Go S, which is the SteamOS version. There are two different versions. You can get a Windows version or a SteamOS one. I've got the SteamOS one, which is, I think it's got a Z2, Ryzen Z2.
Go, isn't it? Z2 Go?
Yeah, Legion Go S.
Yeah.
I think yes. So so far I've got no complaints. Really, it's a lot easier to game on it because you don't have to set things up. You can just sit on the sofa, be somewhat sociable while playing a game. But
So you never had a Steam Deck before, have you?
No. It's just my first. I've had like gaming laptops and gaming PCs. So I've had Steam before, but I've never had like the
Steam OS.
The OS operating system. So yeah, that's new to me. I got no complaints.
It works really well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Intuitive.
You know, everything is the games load up very quickly. If you want to uninstall games, it's very simple. I know there's been complaints with other systems where with the Windows it's a bit more clunky and hard work to do.
Yeah, they've just released an update to it as well that allows an ultra low power background download. So when it's turned off, it'll still download updates. So that's only just come out after 3 years. Because generally, you have to have it on to download updates and whatnot. But now, it's that. I mean, that's a massive thing because I turned on previously when I had Steam Deck going. The Steam Deck has been, going. Oh yes, now you got 20 updates, or now turn on the ROG Xbox Ally X, and I have to update in that place. 3 different places. I have to open up Steam to update games. I have to open up the Windows update and then the Armory crate. All different places to update. So having a background update mode. Oh God, I so want that right now. But I don't think that's going to be anytime soon. But anyway, so what have you played on it? What's impressed you?
I've got Game Pass on it. I've been able to get Game Pass through SteamOS. It's been going on. Been doing a lot of platformers. I don't know, just felt like in a platforming mood recently. So I played Rayman Legends on it. That's probably the game I played the most on it so far. Already had it on the Wii U prior, so it's not like it's a brand new game, but it's a really good game.
Does up to 120 hertz. It's a 1080, but it's actually 1920 by 1200 pixels, so 16 by 10, and at 120 hertz, it's pretty much the same as. It's an 8-inch though as well, so it's bigger than the ROG Ally Xbox, but roughly the same specs otherwise. But is it looking good though?
Looks good. Yeah, I think sounds. I'd say like a bit tinny, but it's nothing like I'm not going to complain about it. I could obviously play it with a headset on if I really wanted to get better sound. But I utilised it really well when I had my car serviced last week. I'm not going to go into a really boring story about my car being serviced, but I thought, and we had booked it in as one where you go there, you sit down, and you wait for it to be done, and I have to get my car serviced in a certain dealership because of the brand of car I got. And there isn't one in Weston, so they closed down. So it's not like I live. So I went to, it's about 25 miles away from where I live, to get my car serviced. Got in there and they were like, "Oh, it's a drop off and go one," and I was like, "No, it's not." I was like, "I got nowhere to go if you like I live in Weston," and then they realised there was another, but where I should have stayed about 2 hours. It was still going to be a bit of a wait, but I ended up being in there about 4 hours. But I took my Legion Go S for the 2 hours, and the battery sort of held up for the whole time. So I didn't play constantly for 4 hours, but I probably did play a good 2.5, 3 hours on it while waiting for my car to get serviced. So, which I couldn't have done with an Xbox or a PS5. Can't just sort of take that in with me. But yeah, I mean, I've been really impressed with it. It's like, and obviously
it's
the
quite
beauty
good value, isn't it? It's I think £480, something like that, full price.
I think it's 500.
500.
I mean, yeah,
I think it depends on the version, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know which ones.
I'm just looking. Having a look up. Yeah, it starts at £500 for the Ryzen 2 Go, 512 gigabyte.
I think
going
might
up
be the one.
to the one. No, hang on, no. Oh, no, that's the Legion Go. Sorry, I'm looking at it. £769.
Yeah, they're a bit more powerful, aren't they? The Legion Go, but yeah, I mean, so far I haven't had any issues on it, but I haven't really tested it, so I haven't gone on any sort of AAA. But maybe I'll try and get on some high performing games and see how it gets.
I suppose we should say that the Game Pass things you played are streaming, aren't they? Cloud gaming.
Yeah. So I guess that's more down to my internet rather than.
Yeah, I mean, with my Xbox LIX, I'm loving the power of it, even though I keep it at the lower TDP, so that the battery lasts longer. Even when I'm at home and I'm near to a power, I still have it on low, so I don't have to have the wire plugged in. But yeah, I mean, I love the fact that I could just sit there and play a whole PC game. Plus the fact, because it's Windows, I can actually install Game Pass games. I'm liking that because it means I can cheat on them. Only on single player games, because generally I don't play multiplayer. But yeah, so it's quite good. But then when I'm cheating on them, the saves then go over to the Xbox saves. So I can load it up on the Xbox, and if I've got a million coins or whatever, is
be on your Xbox.
It's on my Xbox as well. So yeah, it's quite good.
I played Tunic. Have you played that game?
Oh, that was the one
like
with the little fox.
Little fox. Yeah. And you think, oh, it's a little cute fox. It's like, the best way I could describe it would be, it's like a mix of Zelda and Dark Souls, like from software game. I reckon it's been very much inspired by Zelda because you got the sword, the shield, the combat is very similar, but God, there are some really difficult parts on it, and where it's similar to From Software is if you get, there's some enemies will pretty much one hit kill you. I haven't played it for a while because I was on it one evening, and I must have gone on it for about because I plugged it in because I was like, okay, I'm running out of battery here. Because I was like, okay, I'll just fight this one boss and I'll go to bed. I ended up going to bed about 4:30 in the morning. just going over and over and over again to beat this. But in the end, and I've never had to have done. I haven't never done this for a From Software game. I had to do on the accessibility and change the settings because looking back now, I went on afterwards because I was like, that was just like impossible. I was like, I don't know how anyone could do it because the boss pretty much one hit kills you. I say, but yeah, so 1 or 2 hits and you're dead pretty much. At the start, I could get it down to like its last 25%. And then it just starts going absolutely mental. And I'm like, I can't actually dodge this anymore. And you run out of stamina. So the game Tunic, you have stamina. If you run out of stamina, then you can't dodge stuff with your shield. But then you have to dodge its attacks. Oh, sorry, you can't shield things when you run out of stamina. But then you've got to dodge and that uses up stamina. So, and if you attack, that uses stamina as well. So you've got to keep attacking it. And it just got... So I was like, I just can't do it. And I was like, I'm someone who never really usually gives up, and hence why I was on it till about 4:30, 5 in the morning.
You are our From Software expert on the podcast.
And I was like, this is just impossible. Afterwards, I did go on, I Googled it and stuff, and apparently I should have got like loads of bombs and stuff before. I had like 1 bomb on me. But the thing is about that, there's only like a certain place, where I could buy bombs, and it's quite far away. And then on this game, when you save to replenish, all the enemies come back. So I would have to it would take me probably like an hour or 2 hours just to get back to where I buy the bombs from. But if I'd known, I was just throwing bombs willy-nilly before I got to that point. So if I'd known at the time, I probably would have been like, okay, I've got to save 15 bombs for this guy, because if I got to the end and I just had bombs, I probably could have just done it quite easy. But yeah, once I got to the end, I had nothing but my sword, and I haven't gone on it since because it frustrated me that much, and I felt like I couldn't do it without making it easier for myself. And now I just don't want to go on it anymore because it's
Martin, are you getting old?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's why I've gone back to Rayman Legends, because
Rayman Legends has.
There are tricky bits.
I was going to say, after about the first or second world, it pretty much gets pretty hard sometimes.
When I was at Silverstone, I was my car getting serviced. I was doing Super Monkey Ball. I was playing that because I had that randomly on my Steam account. So I couldn't play the Game Pass games because I didn't have any. Could have already connected to their internet, but I don't know what their internet would be. So I was sort of limited to what I had my Steam account. But I was, and that gets really at first you're just a ball, you roll in, you go in the goal, but then by the end of my few hours, I was having to go on ledges where I had to be as precise as possible and had to perfectly time a jump to get on a platform and things like that. And then
oh God, yeah, I've got news for you, Marty. I'm afraid it sounds very much like you're getting old, because you have had your birthday recently, haven't you? So happy birthday. You're now crap at games.
Yeah, I just.
You're going to be on Peppa Pig before you know it.
I like the challenge, but I don't want them to be.
There was a Peppa Pig
difficult.
game that came on Game Pass recently. A Peppa Pig
a new one
tour, I think. I don't think it was new, but it's a new to Game Pass.
Okay.
Peppa Pig's World Tour, I think it is. And yes, I have 1,000 points in it, because you can probably get 1,000 points in 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes at a push, because you can skip talking and everything.
The last, because they had a Peppa Pig, probably still on there, but they had one on there, didn't they? I got my daughter to complete that one, and she, it was she just enjoyed the novelty of.
I got my son to do the middle bit, because I'd already started it, and then I gave the controller to him, went off and did cooking, and so he did a little bit for me, and he was like, "Oh, can I do it on mine account?" So I was like, "No, it's Peppa Pig. He's 7 years old. You don't like Peppa Pig anymore? Do you want me to tell everybody at school that? No." So, but yeah, it was too simple even for him. I think he was getting bored. That's why I had to finish it. But she goes to Paris and London and Germany and
New York.
she does go to California, like to Hollywood.
Yeah, because in the proper program, they go to California and New York and Australia. They go to Australia.
Yeah, they go to Australia. I think that might be. They did go somewhere else, but I can't remember.
Italy. They go to Italy.
Italy, that's it. Yeah, Italy.
I watched the program far too. They got a baby now, haven't they? It's easy on it.
Well, the thing is, as yours get older, you'll start to forget all these things. Because the other day, what was it? I forgot the name. There was something that my son was obsessed with when he was younger, and I couldn't remember the names of the characters. But you start to forget all these ones that they liked. Teletubbies, that was one. I couldn't think of the fourth one.
Poe.
No, I remembered Poe.
Lala.
It was Lala. It was Lala. Yeah. And I was sitting there singing. What's it say? What do they say? Eventually, my boy was like, "Oh, Lala, that's the one." But 5 years ago, I knew them all off by heart. Yeah. I knew what colours they were, what their accessory was. But no, I don't anymore.
I still know all that. Fortunately for me.
Well, I'm afraid now that you're no longer any good at games, you are rubbish at games from now on. I'm afraid that that's all you'll be able to play now. It's Bluey, Peppa Pig, and Paw Patrol. Yeah, which are all on Game Pass, I believe. So,
good
there you go. Handy.
Yeah. I'll embrace this new life of not liking challenging.
and hoping that the accessibility in the games make it really easy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to this extent, but there was a setting on Tunic where you can just put no death. Okay. And you're literally just invincible at that point. And I was thinking, well, I don't want to be that easy because...
Well, there's a puzzle element to it as well, isn't there?
I'm trying to think. There probably is. I can't remember now, but
finding things, isn't there?
I mean, I probably haven't given the game as much attention. I was just trying to go for it as quickly as I can. But you find bits, and then it's like a manual, and I think you're meant to read it, and it tells you tips and stuff. And because I was when I Googled it, I ended up on this Reddit post, and people were talking because someone was how are you meant to beat this boss sort of thing, and people, I don't know what is with the internet, but someone asks a question, and there's some people who think, I'm going to answer this as patronising as possible. Just don't bloody answer the question if you're not. They're oh, I'm assuming you didn't read the manual then. It's well, no, clearly I didn't, but I haven't got time to sit there and read everything. I just want to play a game.
I do use Reddit myself, but that is pretty much Reddit.
I think people get some people must have very empty lives where they go on Reddit to make themselves feel better than people. Because just answer the question. People.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or people being funny.
I don't mind. Don't mind if they're just trying to be funny, but if they're trying to be funny in an annoying way, it's a more patronising, which I'm just if that question offends you so much, why have you taken your time to answer it? If you're gonna... I
just love it when you go to the accessibility settings nowadays, and it says, if you enable this, it won't give you the experience that the developers wanted. I'm I couldn't give a monkeys. I want a nice, easy experience. Thank you very much. Oh, what? You're going to give me triple the amount of resources? Okay, I'll have that. Thanks. I am the more the older I get, the more I'm just like, just give me ease. I like it being easy. I mean, I'm playing the Outer Worlds 2 at the moment, which great game, humongous compared to the first one. I think like the first one, felt quite small, but this one does feel a lot bigger. It's not Skyrim kind of big, but it's bigger than the first one. So if you enjoyed the first Outer Worlds, anyway, and that I've got it on story mode and pretty much you can stand in the middle of a load of enemies and just sit there reading something if you want, and just be like, oh, there's some stuff down here. Hang on, I'm just gonna have a little look, all while being shot and everything, and then you go like, oh, it's really annoying, all this screen flashing. Hang on a minute, bang, bang, bang. Right, let's get back to what I was doing.
Like
it's so easy. So
like a superhero.
Yeah, pretty much. You're just standing there like Superman with bullets bouncing off you. But yeah, no, it's a great game. I'd highly recommend it. It is the game that I'm playing the most at the moment. It is more of the same in terms of it's a space-based, humorous, open world RPG with sort of open world, large lands rather than open land, and you have multiple lands that you can go to. So different planets basically. Yeah, and it's really good. You've got an okay story. I still haven't finished it because I'm trying to complete all the side stories at the moment, but I think I've probably put in about 40 hours, and I'm still going. Yeah, so more of the same. So
I'll have to check it out. I haven't actually, and that seems like it would probably be a good thing to go on my Legion Go Best.
Definitely, because you love your Fallout games, don't you?
I do, yeah.
So I mean, it's Obsidian who made Avowed, and they made New Vegas. So yeah, if you liked, have you played the Outer Worlds one?
I didn't. No, I haven't done.
So it is like if you played Avowed, it is Avowed.
Yeah, I've played Avowed. Yeah,
it's Avowed, but in space.
I liked Avowed, though.
I would say personally, I think I like the setting and how this one works because it's more. Yeah, I like the sort of sci-fi setting personally. I do like the fantasy setting, but yeah, this one, and it's funny as well. This one, it has quite snarky. You can do quite sarcastic responses a lot of the time to most of the things that people say. So it's quite funny.
You what's that little game with that mouse? Have you seen that one? I haven't got on it yet. Burrow, isn't it?
Winterborough, something like that. Hang on, I'm just looking it up. Yes, I have started that. I've played a couple of hours in it.
Is it relaxing? Because when I was reading the game description, it said relax, like a game you can play in your own time.
Yeah,
and I was like, that sounds a bit like my old age.
Yeah, so there isn't any pressure to do. It's go out, you pick things up and hit things to get sticks or vines or whatever, or wood, and you gradually repair things in a burrow. There's a quaint little story about your parents have died, and then you've gone back to the original burrow. And yeah, the art style's very quaint. The collection stuff is quite quaint. I think you can die, and also you can freeze because you have to knit a coat. Because let's say this, I mean, just to show how quaint it is, that is one of the things you can make is wool, and you have you don't have a crafting table. You have a little comfy armchair that you knit in. So yeah, that sort of shows what kind of game it is. Let's have a look. Winterborough it's called. It's nice, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily relaxing, but it's not. There's no pressure. Yeah, the no relaxing thing would mean there was no freezing to death or damage from enemies, that kind of thing. Which there are enemies that you can attack and get food from and stuff. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I probably won't play it much unless Outer Worlds 2 comes to an end. But then I've got Power Wash Simulator 2 as well that I'm still going through, which is now that's relaxing for me. Because that literally is just finding things to clean and cleaning things. And because I've got the Xbox Ally X, I've been playing that online with my son. So we've been cleaning things together. I mean, you can play split screen, but it's not as good as playing on separate devices. So no, those two games. I've also been playing Black Ops 7. Now,
yes,
I heard
last week.
It's came out a few days ago, I think. Yeah, but I'd heard that in the single player, but it isn't single player. They call it the co-op campaign, which you can play single player. But I'd heard that you couldn't pause it, and there was no checkpoints. And I thought, that wouldn't be too bad. But it is. You literally can't pause, and you have to complete a level to be able to stop. If you stop in the middle of a level, you come back and you've got to start the level again. And it's got the usual nonsensical Black Ops, like the latest Black Ops stuff that also references previous games like Black Ops 2. Unless you Google it, most people are not going to have a clue what's going on. It doesn't feel great, no, and it's just annoying. And also, earlier on today, I was playing a level, and I was probably I was on a boss. That was it. I was on a boss, and the game crashed on me. So of course now I'm going to go back in and do that whole level again. So.
What happens if you die on the level? Do you have to start the whole level again?
No, but you spawn back at the previous cutscene kind of thing, or previous section. So there are death checkpoints, but not
saved
checkpoints. So
why have they done that?
Yeah, and also because it's meant to be 4-player co-op. You've got all these other characters. You've got your main character that I presume that you're meant to be controlling. But then you've got all these other characters talking over the radio as if they're there. And you're like, they're not, because I'm playing single player. And in the cutscene, they're all there again. And they're all fine. And they're all, oh, yeah, we're going to shoot people kind of thing. And it's like, no, I'm playing single player. So you need to be, showing those in the game, but they're not in the game. These other 4, if you're playing solo, so they're forcing it to be co-op, and it just doesn't work if you're playing it single player. I'm sure people are playing it multiplayer and a grand old time, but me as playing it single player, no, it sucks. Apparently, it's got the lowest ever user rating of a Call of Duty game on Metacritic. So not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good for
other than that,
Microsoft.
Yeah. But we've talked for about half an hour now on what we've been playing. But there has been a major announcement.
There has.
Which possibly, I think, in my opinion, could possibly herald the biggest change in gaming since Sega left the hardware game and Sony entered it. So late 90s, early 2000s. Biggest one since then. Because Steam have announced their next draft of hardware. No, it's not Steam Deck 2. There's 3 devices. Let's start with I suppose the one that is pretty good still, but is the least impactful. I would say, is that they've announced a new controller, which, if you've seen the Steam Deck, you've pretty much seen the Steam controller. So it's got the same stick design as PlayStation 5 and Stadia, where the sticks are horizontal, on the same horizontal plane, and the D-pad is to the left of the left stick, and the buttons are slightly above the right stick. It's got a Steam button, it's got 3 dots button, it's got the hamburger button, and it's got back button. But then where the gap is, where your fingers come round, there is a filled in bit there where the 2 trackpads from the Steam Deck are, and they're slightly angled. So it will have gyro and that kind of thing. They're these TMR ones, which are less likely to have stick drift. So pretty good. They are going to be valid for Windows, PCs, so Linux and all that kind of thing, iOS and Android, but Steam Deck, Steam Machine, Steam Frame, all that kind of thing. So, and because they're Bluetooth, they'll work with things like, I think, with PlayStation allows Bluetooth and Switch too. So it won't work with Xbox wirelessly. Now, I think it'll work via wired with Xbox, but obviously, mostly they're wanting people to use it for Steam devices. So, do you think you'd with your Legion Go S? Do you think you'd fancy a Steam controller?
I guess I would have to get a docking station first to set up to the TV, but if it's, I mean, what's the price of this controller? Is it like a pro controller pricing range, or?
Well, they haven't announced prices of any of the hardware that's announced. But I could. It's going to be less than £100, I would say. I can't see them selling it as a cheap thing because. Yeah, no, it's not something. It's not something that will make them money. Like the Steam Deck, they can sell it for cost and whatever. You know, it won't really matter because they'll be making money back on games. But yeah, I could see it being sort of 70 quid, 60, 70 quid,
which
maybe.
is sort of same sort of prices. The PS, what is a PS5 controller now? Is that like that sort of price range?
Is about I think it's about 60 quid. I will just have a little look. But yeah, the thing is for me is I very rarely use the trackpads on the Steam Deck. Very rarely. Even for controlling on the desktop mode, I mapped the buttons to the mouse control to the left stick and the mouse left click to the right trigger and right click to the left trigger. So it was basically like firing on a game kind of thing. So, and also I like the Xbox's offset sticks. I always found the sticks being at the same place gave me cramp in my thumbs. So this is probably the only bit of hardware that personally I'm not that eager to look at. But so predictions for the thing is between $70 and $80. Okay.
So it's pretty much what you said.
Yeah,
you said around £70,
quid.
Didn't you?
Yeah, 60, 70 quid. Generally, if it costs $1, it costs £1. So yeah, I would say if it was $80, it would be £70. But anyway, so that was the first thing they announced. The next thing, widely reported for, God, I think at least a couple of years, is their latest VR. Now, this VR is a standalone VR. Again, no price. It's called the Steam Frame. Now, from what I've seen various videos and looked at the specs, it isn't the most powerful, but it is more powerful than, it's powerful enough to play Steam games. It is powered by an ARM processor, so it isn't x86 or so your normal PC processor. It's got so it's a 4nm Snapdragon 8th Gen 3 ARM 64 with 16 gigabyte of DDR5 RAM. It's got Wi-Fi 7, but dual 5 and 6 gigahertz streaming, so you can have streaming VR and Wi-Fi on different adapters, so they don't interfere with each other. And it's going to come in two forms: 256 gig and 1 terabyte gig. 1 terabyte gig, 1 terabyte, and it's got two 2160 by 2160 pancake lens screens with 72 to 144 hertz. Screens and lenses. So it's got various. I don't profess to be the most technical person. It's got a monochrome camera, so you won't be able to wear it while walking around, kind of thing, very easily. It won't be in color anyway. But there's quite good design where it's got the battery on the back of the head, so the front is actually quite small and quite light. And they are working on prescription lenses. So at the moment, if it came out today and they didn't have prescription lenses, I wouldn't be able to use it because I am getting old and getting blind. But they have, because it is an ARM processor, they have developed a new bit of software similar to how Proton works with SteamOS. There is a thing called FEX, F-E-X, and it's basically so Steam games will run on ARM processors. So that means that you'll be able to. Apparently, they've demonstrated it with. I've seen various things like Hades 2 and other such games running really well, and you'll be able to play Steam games, whether they're VR or not, because non-VR games will just be on a large screen in your vision. But you'll be able to play most VR games, including things like, I think, Half-Life Alyx, I think, was demonstrated to one person. I don't know whether that was streaming or whether that was natively installed. But you'll be able to stream from your Steam Deck or PC as well. And yeah, so what would you say would be a good price for that? Now, there are rumours, but what would tempt you, but not be stupidly cheap?
I mean,
there isn't a price, so there isn't a wrong answer. It's all estimated.
But I don't even know sort of what the price of the Quest is. The
Quest in the Quest 3 is £479, and the Quest 3S is £290.
Okay.
So those both have the same processor in, just the 3 has better lenses and other technology in it. So the 3S is a stripped down version, but it has the same processor in it. So what would tempt you over the 3S in the fact that, don't forget, you're getting something that can play Steam games?
I probably wouldn't be tempted because I've just not really ever been a big kind of thing. Yeah, big fan of
Has it never interested you?
No. I have gone on the Quest, and every time I've gone on the Quest, my friend had it. It's you have a good experience, but I think it's one of those things where you'd get it and you'd probably play it a lot for the first week, and then you'll put it down and you'll never Like
And
for
then,
me
yeah,
anyway,
gather
and
dust.
I'd just go back playing like your traditional Steam
Yeah.
Deck or your Legion OS or your Xbox or PlayStation, whatever.
Yeah, I'm the
So
same. I'm the same, I think.
there wouldn't really be. It would have to be really low, but I think like a price. I guess if the Quest is like 470, then around that sort of price mark, £500-ish or whatever. But that would still be
Well, there's
far too
rumour
much.
that they have all they've said is that they believe it will be cheaper than the Index, which the Index came in a basic version without all the base stations because it wasn't a standalone unit. But with all the base stations and cameras and all that, it was $1,000. That's all they've said. It's going to be cheaper than that. So the rumors are at the moment that it will probably be about the $700 to $800
Yeah.
zone.
Well,
So again, probably £600 ish, maybe 650.
yeah, I reckon Tom would be a better person because he does actually like VR, doesn't he? He
He
does a
does.
lot of VR
Yes,
gaming.
I will definitely be asking him. But yeah, I mean, it's technologically, it's a great piece of kit. It's got all the modern stuff like finger tracking and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, it all comes down to the price. I think all the hardware that they've announced, it comes down to the price. And I think if they get it less than £500, because again, this will be something that you can install games. You're not going to be able to play something like Cyberpunk on ultra, at 144 hertz kind of thing. It isn't that kind of thing. But if you've got a powerful PC, you will be able to play it on ultra, just on a large screen, wherever you are sitting. So the fact that I haven't got a powerful PC and I have got something that will play handheld, I'm not that interested in this myself, but I could see if they can get it cheap, if they can get it less than £500, if they can get it around the £400 mark. Unlikely, but if they could, I think a lot more people would buy it. The fact that they could play Steam games on it, or some Steam games. Because at the moment, your average person on the street, similar to you, most people will go, oh yes, that's lovely, and then never touch it again. Yeah. And people who aren't gamers definitely don't want to buy it. They're just like, oh yeah, that's lovely. Oh, I can watch Netflix on a massive screen on my wall. Excellent. I'd just rather watch the TV, thanks. I think, yeah. So, yeah, I don't think VR's had quite there yet where everybody will buy it, but this is a good step in the right direction if they can get it cheap. Anyway, so the big one for me is the Steam Machine. Now, I don't know if do you recall that this is their second go at Steam Machine? Did you know that?
No, I
Well,
first time
Steam,
I've
yes,
heard the name.
Steam did actually, I think it's something like 12 or 13 years ago, they announced the Steam Machine. And I can't remember the issues with it, but there was some rather big issues with the whole thing. And it didn't really work out, and nobody bought it, and it just completely flopped. But now they have announced a new version of the Steam Machine. I think with Steam OS coming out and the Steam Deck being out, I think they've realised where their corner is. So it's not quite cube, but it's pretty much a cube. It's about 15 centimeters. So your average mobile phone now, cell phone, this is about as tall as a Pixel 10. It's shorter than an iPhone 17 Max, which is 16 point something centimeters, and this is about 15.2 tall. So it's a little black cube. It's a PC. At the end of the day, you can take the fronts off and put different front parts on, and change the parts out so you can put new like NVMe's in and all this kind of thing. There's a micro SD slot, there's USB slots, there's DisplayPort, all this kind of thing. The power is meant to be somewhere between the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, somewhere around there. So it's not going for the power of the PlayStation 5 Pro. But the fact that it's on SteamOS and the fact that it's, you know, it is a gaming focused PC means it should run things really well. It is ray tracing supported, which basically means don't put ray tracing on because you'll get about 3 frames per second. But they've said it's 6 times as powerful than the Steam Deck, which is saying quite a lot, I think. So this, I'm excited to see the price of this, and I think this will live and die on its price. There are 2 models again, 512 gigabyte and a 2 terabyte version. So I reckon, because I saw one article where somebody said about how they had cut some corners, not as in made it cheap, not made it like cheap and tacky, but just how they'd done a few things to reduce the cost of it, producing it. If they were trying to produce something that we could buy for £1,000, they wouldn't have cut these corners. So I personally think that they are going for the low price. I think they're going for the price of the Xbox and the PlayStation 5. So I think £500, maybe for the Steam machine.
But what version is that?
So probably it probably would be the 512 gig,
and then the 2 terabyte, 700, 750 or something.
Yeah, like 650 kind of thing. If it's 500, 650, maybe. The fact that you can upgrade it anyway. So I think if you're going to buy it, you might as well buy the 512 gigabyte if it's a lot more. I mean, the 2 terabyte, you can get 2 terabytes. You can get slow ones for less than £100. But if you want to get the decent ones, they full price. They cost, I think, about 130 quid. So in the UK, so not too bad. But yeah, this is basically, it's going to have SteamOS. So there is that issue of they are currently negotiating, I think, with anti-cheat developers. So people like EA and the like, so that they will be able to get pretty much any game on there. But I mean, SteamOS is so adaptable at the moment. But it's a tiny little cube that's going to be able to play pretty much all your games on PC. So it'll just sit by your TV, just like your current console does, or your Skybox or streaming box or whatever you're using, and you'll be able to use it for pretty much everything, whether it's streaming, whether it's gaming,
watching. I guess you can watch Netflix or whatever.
Yeah,
sounds like a bit like one of those the way you described it,
those Android boxes.
Those Amazon ones, you could get those, a little Alexa.
Oh, the Fire
they're
Cube.
like a
Fire
cube.
Cube.
Yeah, they're a little black cube, and then that you can play games on them. But
yeah, I mean, this is like that on steroids, but more focused on games. So it's going to be a PC, so you'll be able to do what you want with it, just like you can with the Steam Deck. And I really do think if they get it as little as £500, for the Steam machine. I think this could, because Xbox have announced that their next hardware is going to be a premium product. So it's meant to be a sort of an Xbox window, like PC hybrid. So that's going to be expensive. They've said it's a premium product, and the people have sort of scoffed at that because I don't think people generally don't want premium. If they want a premium product, they'll buy a PC, premium PC. And people like you and me, we want something that's going to give us good value. Not necessarily doesn't mean cheap, but your Legion Go S, you could have gone cheaper, but if you'd gone with an LCD Steam Deck, but then you've got the Legion Go, has a bigger screen. It has a newer processor, not necessarily that much more expensive, but much more powerful. But so good value doesn't mean cheap. And if it's 512 gigabyte for a Steam machine is £500 or less, it will convince people. I think people are slowly realizing that PC is a fantastic platform, and SteamOS is just making it so simple. I mean, every single month they're adding better value to it. I mean, like I've said about the download, while it's the low power download, that'd be great because obviously the Steam machine is going to be plugged in, so you won't have to charge it. But equally, it will mean that you can, in inverted commas, turn it off and it will still update. So with Xbox pretty much not leaving the hardware, but definitely becoming a minority, and PlayStation, I mean, let's face it. I mean, PlayStation have made some good moves recently, but where are all the the last generation, it was all, PlayStation has all the exclusives, like God of War and Last of Us and Uncharted and things like this. Where are those?
Yeah,
I mean, even their biggest games, like your God of War and your Spider-Man,
come out on Steam eventually, didn't they?
Have come out on PC. So, why would you buy? Why would you buy a? I don't. I don't understand why you'd buy a closed ecosystem like the PlayStation when you could get something like the Steam machine for the same price. But we'll see. We don't know. It's early 2026. So this obviously is a home console, pretty much, although it's a PC. Would you be tempted? Would you be tempted at £800?
Probably not. Not that much.
What about 600 for the 512 gig? So say you had like the amount of money in your account, you had £800 or you had £600. Imagine you had £600 burning a hole in your pocket. Would you be tempted with that, or would you just invest it in what you've got already?
I think at the time I would have to decide, is it going to be worth, because it would be an improvement of what I got, but is it worth investing that money in? Because
you could buy more games for your go.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I mean, I've only had it for about a month, so maybe I'm still in that honeymoon period. But it would have. I mean, I would definitely consider it. I mean, but going out and actually purchasing it, maybe it'll be something I would get later on rather than after it's just gone out. So maybe it'd be the next thing I get after the Legion Go. But I'm not in a rush now after just getting the Legion Go S to get anything. What about yourself? I mean, you've obviously got
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
got Ragai X and
yeah, and I've got a Xbox Series X. So, I mean, I've been thinking about this since they announced it, and I'm like, do I want another expensive device to sit by the side of my TV? And do you know what? I think if the price is right, I would be tempted to sell my Series X and get a
best.
Steam machine. Yeah.
I guess you'd have the best of both of them because you'd have your Xbox ROG Ally X for your to keep you in the Xbox ecosystem, but then you'd have your
Yeah.
Steam.
And I'm sure
But-
the Steam machine, if I wanted to, I'm sure within days of it being released, there'll be Windows, available for it. You can install Windows on it if you want, but and that means I'll be able to play all my Xbox games on there natively. I suppose I should just say what it's got. It's got a semi-custom AMD Zen 4 to do up to 4.8 gigahertz with 30-watt TDP, and the GPU is semi-custom AMD RDNA 3 28. I think that's compute units, CUs. Anyway, blah blah blah. 8 GB GDDR6 in the GPU. Again, 4K at 60 frames per second, but I think they're saying that with it says with FSR, so it's a bit like saying that's why they think the power is about the same as the Series X and PlayStation 5 because of the parts and what they've said. Because let's face it, PlayStation said first of all that they were going to support 8K, and that was soon found out to be not really true. But it very specifically says 6 times more powerful than Steam Deck. And it's got 16 gigabyte of DDR5, which is quite funny because my Xbox Ally X has more RAM than that. But the storage it takes 2230 or 2280 NVMe's.
And if it's going to be the size of a small black cube, and it's going to be just as powerful as the PS5 and Series X, then that'd be quite.
So literally, you'd be able
impressive.
to hold it on your hand quite easily. It's 2.6 kilograms apparently.
Because when the Series X, I know
it is pretty much the same size as the Series X, but chopped in half. If you chop it horizontally in half, that's how big it is. The Steam.
It's strange to think that they're like almost pretty much. Well, they are. They're 5 years old now. The PS5 and the Series X. But when they first came out, the jokes were about to see how big they were, especially the PS5. It is massive. And then, the Xbox Series X was compared to like a mini fridge, wasn't it? So, and then they actually brought out.
Did release a fridge, didn't they?
They did. The PS5 wasn't going to release like a modem or whatever people people said it looked like.
There's loads of memes, wasn't there? Of people going, "Look, I've got a PS5," and it was just
the side of their house or something.
Routers, So we'll have to wait and see what the price is. More information is going to come out soon, but for now, we just have the specs and the details and an early 2026 release date for all three.
Not long away. Not long away.
Apparently, you will also be able to buy the Steam machine, I think, with or without the controller. So I think you'll be able to play
with like an
Xbox controller if you want. So hopefully, if you can buy it without controllers and the 512 gigabyte version, you should end up with hopefully, fingers crossed. That'd be great if it could be like 400 quid. That would be awesome.
I guess if they were gonna restrict it to their controller, they'd have to provide the controller with it, wouldn't they?
It'll have Bluetooth and and that kind of thing. So
but I mean, it's interesting times, and it's not that long away. So I guess we will probably find out more things sooner rather than later. So
Well, if it's early, and I mean, what's that? First couple of months of 2026. That's actually only 3 months away.
and is it going to only be available like through Steam, like
Through
they did
Valve,
with the,
yeah.
Through Valve? So you'd have to have a Steam account and all that.
So if you are
can't buy it
listening to
through shop.
this, yeah, and you're interested, get a Steam account now and just find something that's about like $1 or something and buy it. Doesn't matter what it is, just buy something. Because when the Steam Deck was first announced, you had to have an account that had the first people that could get on the waiting list were people who had an account for more than 6 months and had bought something in the last 6 months. And luckily, I bought something in the previous 6 months I can't remember what it was, but I didn't actually have a working PC at the time, so it was just luck that I'd bought something for some reason. I can't remember why, but yeah. So yeah, buy something now, even if it's just for $1. So, right, well, we've been chatting for an hour, so I think like and subscribe, everybody, and thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Go to focusongaming.co.uk and find all our episodes, like the one with Sean Cleaver last episode from Evercade. That was a good one. You missed that one, but it was lovely guy and interesting chat. Right, lovely to speak to you.
Yeah, and yourself.
On that note,
see you. Bye.